now we give the floor to Pilar Andres. She's also a researcher from CREAF as me, but she's also member and president of the Society for Ecological Restoration, of the one of the parts of the Society for Ecological Restoration, and she will be acting and as a panel moderator for the final panel that is related to acting for forest conservation and restoration. And I hope it will be as interesting and it has been already the previous panel. Of course, it will be. So please, Pilar, go ahead. We are waiting to hear about that.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you. Do you hear me correctly?
Yeah, don't worry.
Never know with this machine. So thank you very much, Enrique, for inviting me. I have been listening the whole morning to people. I am here more as a demander of information than a provider. All these tools you are talking about are tools I am always looking for when I manage projects or organize groups of work. So we are going to have me here demanding for tools, in particular about these tools Enrique has written about technologies and methodologies for environmental management. But let's start with our panel. We have 3 panelists to talk about these tools, about acting for forest conservation. We have Sandor Sari, we have Milan Keys, and we have Danut Chira. Please correct my pronunciation, like it can be terrible. Let's start then with Sandor Sari from Mexic Forestry, who is talking about restoring ecological diversity of forest with airborne imaging technologies. Good morning, Sandor.
Hello, good morning.
I'm going to, this is an order, this is not my will, to give you 6 minutes to talk, and then I am going to activate my alarm.
Okay.
For the last minute, last work. See?
Okay, let's start it.
Thank you.
I try to... Okay. 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 Did you see my Do you see my presentation?
Perfectly.
Okay. Okay. Welcome. My name is Sándor Sári. I'm working as a development associate at Mecsek-Erdő Ltd. First of all, thank you for the invitation. I'm glad to introduce this special Red Fate project. I'm sorry, but the details of the processing of remote sensing data and the methods and technology demonstration would not fit into this presentation. As an introduction, I would say in Hungary and in Croatia, the forestry for the most part is still using traditional land survey methods to generate required spatial data. However, the conventional photogrammetric techniques nearly were replaced by digital photogrammetry, but the potential of area remote sensing is still unexplored in both countries. Hogy tudom léptetni?
El kell nyitani ezt a prezentációt. F5 gombbal.
Hol lett az F5?
Itt. Bekattintottál a prezentációba?
Sorry. Okay. Okay. So the main task of the project was area remote sensing. This includes area laser scanning and area hyperspectral survey and digital camera survey with airplane in Hungary and hyperspectral and multispectral survey with drones in Croatia. The Interreg project required that the part of the area must in better conservation status and at the end of the project. Therefore, we also eradicated invasive tree species in Hungary and in Croatia in a highly infected area. We carried out studies, we organized trainings, workshops for professionals. We also tried to introduce this very exciting and very complicated topic to the school-age children, and we have a great opportunity to improve the condition of the forest school education with renovation and purchasing educational devices. So let's speak about the remote sensing activities. Here you can see the Croatian area of the project with almost 10,000 hectares. The area between the two large rivers, Danube and Drava, has a great biodiversity with hardwood tree species and softwood species. However, there is a lot of species in this area. The forests are most likely homogeneous, which is simplifying the remote sensing data process. The Croatian partners acquired these following devices in the project. They need them because they did both the data collection and data processing themselves. Of course, they have some specialists too. Detailed data were collected through DGA Matrix 600 drone. And combined with the hyperspectral sensors and high-resolution RGB sensors. They chose the drone because it's modular design. The mapping of the total project area was made on a fixed-wing drone. The model is EBQSQ, carrying a pirate spectral multispectral sensor and RGB camera. This drone has an ability to cover a large area from height of 300 meters. And also purchase a Parrot Anafi mini drone to practice drone controlling, and with this drone they can easily collect real-time visual data. X4D Mapper Pro is one of the most popular photogrammetric software in the professional analysis and drone images. The Croatian colleagues developed many modules for this software, pattern recognition, algorithm, and neural networks. They built a complex operating and continuously evolving system to detect invasive species and gain data from the forest health status. Besides the conservation benefits, the remote sensing data has an economic benefits too. They can identify and mark for cutting and sick individual tree before it loses the market value. And here is Hungary. The total size of Hungary project area more than 50,000 hectares, situated in South Zselic, Baranyahead and Western Mecek. These are located northwest from Pécs. The forest cover of the region is well above the national average, and its forest consists mostly native species, different ages, which are deciduous and smaller areas evergreens. Unlike the Croatian partner...
Sorry, Sandor, 1 minute left.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I can show you the. Here is the Hungarian part of the project, and here is the technology we used in Hungary. We have LiDAR survey, laser scanners, and hyperspectral scanners for hyperspectral service. And we purchased almost X4D Mapper, LiDAR, and RGS softwares, and the workstation for processing data. Here is the parameters of our service, and we have the service product, the digital terrain model DTM and digital surface model DSM. and whole area north of Otto and RGB and CIR color range. This flowchart shows the combining the LiDAR and the hypersurface technology, we get the 4 new final products. That was the digital tree species map and digital land use map. This was a very complicated process, lasted until September 2019. Lots of field work with checking, back-checking, developing, modifying various algorithms and methods. And here is the project results. The digital land use map is very useful, is acceptable. 12 thematic layers we have, such as the shaded forest, mixed forest, scrubs, lawn, etc., saved in vector files. The final product, digital tree species map, did not go as well as we planned. The product accuracy became very low, below 60%, which can be, for many reasons, maybe the most important, that so very large scale area data collection no one has made in Hungary so far for forestry purpose. In 3 hectares wild detected area, we successfully managed to control Arianthus, both Croatia and Hungary. We are using the methods from Interreg oak protection. We successfully organized many events.
Sorry, Sandor.
Yes?
I think we are going to have some time to go further in your explanations in the debate part. If you want to start finishing.
Okay. Okay. And the last one is really short.
Thank you.
We have more than 4 terabytes of raw preprocessed data, and we can use this in future to develop new algorithms, and we can set up trends. I'm sorry when I'm looking left, but the screen is there. And we can also use the hardwares. All of the studies and the detailed methods and methodology is available on our homepage. It's www.redfate.hu. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Sandor, and sorry about pushing you.
I'm sorry.
The end of we are going to have some time to discuss and to ask for more details at the end, together with the attendants. So let's proceed to the next panelist. This is Mr. Milan Keys, talking about protecting the English oak in a cross-border area. Please.
Hello, nice to meet you. I tried to change the screen. How can I do this? Szerintem nem, eltűntünk.
Same for you, Milan. I am going to start 6 minutes starting with you.
Sorry, yes. Can you see my presentation?
No.
No, sorry, it's a technical problem. Okay, now.
Okay. Now.
Okay,
so
ladies and gentlemen.
You have 6 minutes.
Okay. First of all, I would like the organizers that I can you the present our project. So let me say a couple of words about our aims and results. Our company, the Meček Forestry PLC, and our partner, Forestry of Nasice, had taken up an important task in order to protect the native forests. Especially, we wanted to preserve the healthy conditions of the English oak forests along the River Drava. The project had two objectives. One of them was the monitoring of change in groundwater level, because we wanted to know how vegetation tolerates the water level changes. So at first we installed a cross-border groundwater monitoring system. Another huge significance of the project was the tackling of the problem of 3 invasive species, which was a serious threat to the native forests because of the aggressive penetration. Thus we cleared away more than 150 hectares infected area. We have already used existing technologies and we tried to new experiments. As I said, the first step was installing the groundwater monitoring system. We installed 43 new wells and we cleaned the existing wells. Thus the total system consists 60 measuring points. Their average depth are 10 meters. You can see the locations of the wells and some completed wells with special log for safety and program logos, of course. The drilling technologies was different on the two sides of the border because of the environmental condition and the legal background were different. In Hungary, drilling was in a soil of sand and gravel, and we used with wet flushing technologies. You can see some water level data loggers which we used, a Hungarian product and the Holland product, and these loggers are set to log the data every 4 hours. This data was used for making the hydrological model. The third picture shows the measurement results in a short period, a couple of months, and you can see that the groundwater level dropped with 80 centimeters within 5 months, but it's just an example. The monitoring system was completed with 7 weather stations, a Hungarian model and another one from the US, the Campbell Scientific Station. So we provide us real-time information about humidity, temperature, solar radiation, precipitation, and wind speed, of course. We collected soil samples before we installed the monitoring wells. We collected 185 samples which were tested by the University of Sopron. If you can see the picture, it also shows the different layers of soil. Yes, suppressing invasive species. We deal with three species, especially the tree of heaven, false indigo, and black locust, which was the most significant problem in the project area. We started the work on 155 hectares with different methods and techniques. For example, spot spraying, overall spraying, bark painting, tree injection, and different mechanical techniques. Unfortunately, the mechanical control is not enough. So we had to use chemicals, but it was a very important factor that these methods are not harmful for the environment and neighboring plants. This is due to the selective agent and the minimal chemical drifting. One of the best examples of this, the tree injection. Let me show you a couple of examples and results. spraying results, overall spraying. The selective effect clearly appears. The other one, steam crushing results, or near to the water, manual clearing results, because the use of chemicals is prohibited in the water side. Part of the project was a pilot action, which was a small experiment in 80 parcels. The aim was to minimize the used herbicide quantity by endotherapy treatments, increase the herbicide intake, increase the efficiency of application, and we tried to combine it with different mechanical techniques. Nature conservation aspect. Following the suppression of false indigo, many meadows had regained their original condition. Thus, we tried to map the protected insects and flora in this habitat, so we involved biologists, an external expert. He studied daytime butterflies and nocturnal insect populations. He proved the occurrence of several protected species, for example, clouded Apollo, scarce fritillary.
Sorry, Milan, 1 minute.
Okay. It was an extra activity, and we financed this survey from our own budget. The other significant aspect during the project implementation was the knowledge sharing. So we developed a mobile application, we printed brochure, which we present invasive species which we found in the project area. And of course, we make those results that is useful especially for professionals, forestry professionals. Methodological guide or model calculations for water storage, etc. And finally, we are very proud because the results of the project were also recognized by the European Commission. So in February 2019, we were included in the list of good practice project. And the last one, if you would like to learn more about our project activities, I recommend these videos. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Milan. I have a great number of questions arising from your talk, but you are going to proceed to the next panelist, and we are going to have some time ready to discuss this. Okay? Thank you. So, we are welcoming now to Danut Chira. Is this okay for pronunciation? From Marin Dracea National Institute for Research and Development in Forestry. And this is a talk about conservative management of habitats in the northwest of Gork.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Danut. Welcome.
Oh, hello again. It was some net problem, but now it's solved.
Okay.
So we have the opportunity to do some work of restoration, some difficult habitats in the Carpathian area. Thank you for your helping me to do this presentation. So please, the next slide. Everybody knows about the mountain pine, Pinus mogor, and its problems. Everywhere in Europe, this habitat was more or less destroyed by the human activities. It's a non-profit culture, so these bushes were millennia by human activity, especially for grazing obtaining more grazing areas. What was funny in the last decades in Romania, it was a subsidy from the government for the pasture to preserve that kind of pasture land management. And the rules was to have that kind of subsidies. You have to clear cut every kind of bushes and other kind of vegetations. So that was a general rule that wasn't good for the mountain pasture with this kind of protected areas. So that was difficult too. Next slide, please. We did all the activities, but unfortunately, the project was only for 5 years. In general, this kind of procedure did in which was done in that kind of classical approach has to be minimum 6 years. So we burned the books and we tried to speed up all the processes. So the next slide, please. We improvised and we did several kind of variants of culture. Because we, first of all, we do the seedings of activities in the lowlands, and then we moved in the nursery to have that kind of acclimatization of the seedlings. Then, the next slide, please. We moved from the subalpine zone where we did the final plantation. Finally, we succeeded. We was afraid about snow problems, which is typical from that kind of regions, but we were surprised to having that other kind of problems. Some wild boars destroyed a part of the plantation. Of course, there was no interest in the forest vegetation, but they was looking for some food over there. But we had the funds and we replant the destroyed area and everything was good. Next, please. Then the chestnut. Chestnut is very rare in our condition, therefore all the forests are protected in Romania. Unfortunately, the Cryphonectria parasitica in Asian in Carpathian area, like in everywhere in America or in Europe, and destroy all the cultures, all the forests, all the orchards. That means no major big old trees will survive. Next, please. Fortunately, in Europe, in Italy, first in Italy, then in Greece, and then in Switzerland, and in Spain and the other parts, they develop a biological control of the fungus with a virus, mycovirus of this fungus. So we implemented this method in Romania in some protected areas, and we did all kind of technical procedure. It's not easy because there are at least 76 strains of this fungus, and you have to use the right one, because otherwise the biological method is not efficiently. That means the virus cannot reach the fungus. So we did that kind of lab, very well, time-consuming procedure. Then we moved to the forest and did the manual artificial inoculation with fungus which was carrying the virus. Next, please. Finally, we have that kind of results. In few years, you cannot heal everything, but we tried to spread the virus everywhere in that region. And some of the forest was, the young forest, of course, was significantly healed. That means the curse which was treated was healed 2 years, and the new regeneration was starting in status of health. You can see in the picture the very vigorous young trees which are growing very well, and the cankers are healing. So it's a process, of course, but at least we have a very good and ecological accepted methodology.
Danut, 1 minute.
Okay, I just finalized. So please, the next slide. We did supplementary plantation to recover some areas where the chestnut was completely destroyed and suppressed by the other forest species. Please, next slide. This is the final. So we published the results. All the information are on the slides and on the site, home site of the project. And we was happy to have that kind of results, especially because all the foresters for the regions was with us, so they understood the methodologies, all the we used, and we was very happy to have the local community, because it's not quite a topic very interesting for the forest, but it's a very interesting for the local communities. It's an income that they are based on. The chestnut is interesting. The chestnuts are in the market, so they was happy that they have finally a tool to recover their orchards and the forest. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the three panelists. I'm sorry, the two first got some problems with the technology, so we are going to try to give some more space here in the discussion to those that have been damaged by by the communication system. I thank you very much, because we have put the focus on different parts of the tools and the processes working in restoration. So I don't know how to proceed, Enrique. Do you? I don't know if we have time to because I have a lack of information about the first panelist. That has been a little complicated. I don't know if we have some time for him, or we must. I have a couple of questions to him, in fact.
There is no questions already in the chat, so we have time, but I prefer that we go directly to your questions. For example,
Okay.
If he can profit these questions to finish his
Okay.
much better.
Okay, so let's start. Sandor, I got some problems to understand. I have a lot of doubts about these kind of methods. I understood that you got some problems about the resolution you got with your drones. And then my question is, what was this? What was the resolution of these drones? Can you identify a single tree? And another problem I continuously have about technologies is that we have remote sensing from satellites. We have also drones working on top of the trees, on the canopy. But I need more data, in particular about, I work in soil. So I am obsessed about getting data, hyperspectral data of soils. Is there any hope for having some system to identify carbon in soil from imaginary? So because we can do this in naked, in bare soils in agriculture, but are there progresses to get carbon in soil below the forest cover with drones?
Ezt tudnám magunkat. So, sorry for jumping in. I'm Balázs from Tona County Development Agency, and for the sake of the
translation. We will discuss shortly our answers in Hungarian, and then I will give you our answer, okay? Does that make sense to you?
Okay. My English is not too good, and Balázs will translate my answer. I understand you, but speaking is it's
Don't worry, we are going to find the system.
nem is a lidáradatok, hanem hogy a hiperspektrális adatokból nyert pixel, azt nehéz beazonosítani, ugye, hogy ez
melyik fához
tartozik.
Azt mutatjuk, hogy még a technológia nem ért el oda, hogy ezeket a zajokat teljesen ki tudja szűrni, és tiszta spektrumképet tudjon adni egy-egy fáról.
So first I would like to show you that actually from the company there's a lot of people here helping us, especially with these more convoluted technical details, because as you may know, this project encompassed a lot of different expertise. So a lot of people are required to, answer one single question. But with regards to the accuracy of the map presented, it was easy to tell individual trees from one another, but it was not really easy to tell the species because hyperspectral scanning is not accurate enough. And it's really hard to distinguish between, I think, the colors of the pixels.
And the problem is the canopies. When the canopy is collapsing, we are very difficult for us to separate the individual trees. And the canopy levels is also a problem because the high canopy and below there another species.
Yeah.
And there was the pixel, hyperspectral data pixel is not exactly form the individual trees, and therefore the accuracy it's now it's very low.
Azt még hozzátehetett, hogy kisebb területeken kevés fafajjal, egész jó
in small areas and homogeneous forest, the accuracy is most higher than heterogeneous area and large areas.
Yeah. This is because of this is not applicable to mixed masses of forest, I think, no? Is the technology is suitable to homogeneous masses of one specific forests. I am right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And then the other question, is there any help about having data for soils below the canopy? Can you move drones or something, or any kind of approach?
Which purpose for this?
I am a soil ecologist, so we are trying to find data from hyperspectral images, from airborne sensors to calculate carbon content in soil. So we need data from the color, water content, and so on, from soil surface. And then we are only proceeding from the air and with naked, with bare soils, and we have no data, no possibility to reach forests with these technologies. No help? No hope?
No, on the soil only we have laser scan, and we have no information about soil.
Ah,
The hyperstructure sensor is not reached the soil.
yeah.
It's the reflection of the canopies and the leaves.
Just yeah, but this is why I ask if is there any way to to mechanic way to go below the
It's a LiDAR, but it's gives us information about terrain models.
Yeah. Just the terrain, the elevation. So thank you. Any question coming from our attendees?
Not already, Pilar. If you have another one, if not, I have one myself. But
Yeah. Please, Enrique.
No, I wanted to. It's for all the panelists, in fact, because this was a very applied panel, and I want to know about to relate it with the general subject, how these applied projects were related to the political side. If they have, when they, I don't know, ask for funding, or later on, or even if it was directly the government that asked for these projects. And I want to know these links with policymakers or with decision makers. Thank you.
Milyen döntéshozókat vezetett politikai szinten?
Hogy ezek az eredmények,
Szerintem inkább a projektgenerálásra kíváncsi, hogy amikor ezek a projektek ki lettek találva, akkor jelen volt-e már a politikai szint valahol, vagy esetleg ők javasolták, hogy de jó lenne valamit csinálni.
Alapvetően szerintem az ökológiai gazdasági problémák megoldására találtuk ki. Tehát jövőben tudjuk őket használni sok mindenre, ezt szóba kerül. Most is kérdeztem, ezt már kérdeztem, hogy jövőben hogyan kapcsolódik.
Basically, this was our project. We have to solve ecological and economical problems. So no other authorities or institution connected this project.
Okay.
But later, because this data became from the project is available for everyone, this could be using in the future by anyone, any institute, any university or authorities.
Yeah, I think that when you have not to act to really transform the landscape, you can be rid of the participation of the social actors. The problem arises when, as in our third case, you have really to manipulate the nature. And then this is because there is a recent report from the eclipse mechanism of the European Commission that says that restoration, that biodiversity restoration, landscape restoration is not a technical problem, but a social problem, and that the main problems to restore something is to bring all the involved actors to an agreement and to plan restoration at the landscape scale. So I was following very interested the third panelist about a couple of things he has been talking about. I think that they have a lot of participation, Danut, of people in your project. And you have mentioned the table in the middle of these are microvirus, virus. How do you conduct, because we are having people here very concerned currently about the use of biological technologies to fight invasions, and in particular this last year, when you mentioned we are going to use a virus, or you are working with soil virus, fungus, people start to become hysterical and concerned about the scientists inducting and promoting diseases.
Well, this is quite an issue. You have right, but finally in our society we have to understand each other, to debate more, or the technical solution and what is social and politically correct and social accepted. So we have a lot of problems, this kind of problems, but and we have different kind of approaches and different kind of people. You can see the vaccination in the COVID-19, and there are a lot of reaction of the people. First of all, we have to know as precisely as science can support. So we need that kind of scientific information. Therefore, in our projects, we practice several variants, and we show to the people the variants. Because if they notice something important, they are coming closer to our ideas. And we was very happy to see in my biological control of the fungus. We started with some people which came to the forest district and claimed for this kind of application. And the second year and the third year, we noticed that kind of special people shows to their neighbors the results. So for us was more this step was more important than was the same important like our acknowledgements, because this is the first step when the people try to figure out if it's important or not, if it's safe or not, and if it creates some benefit for the local communities. So we was fortunate to have that kind of reaction. It was quite a positive reaction. And you know, that's kind of topic, it was a live projects, and the live projects are especially created for the people to understand what the science can do, and to utilize that kind of methodology and that kind of solution that we have. So we did have that kind of reaction, not in all kind of institutions. So the local communities was the most receptive, and that is the most important, because we are doing for the people. Because they are owning the orchard, they are owning the forest, and they can use more precisely, and they are the vectors which are very important. And wasn't the same with the institutions. That means administrations and this that kind of governmental agencies. The forestry administrator wasn't so happy, because it was an expensive tool, and they claimed for help, for funds to do this. So this is a topic unsolved. But unfortunately for us, the governmental agency was part of the project. So it was more easy for the decision in this way. We was very happy to have the participation. Because I hate to do all kind of job, that kind of papers, and to support it for the administration, and sometimes, well, people don't understand and say, yes, you are working with a virus. Come on, it's something new. I never heard about this. Is it destroying our computers or not? I remember some of the people in the first we experimented. Please, if I talk too much, please stop me. First time when we was applying this project was in the north, and the local academy branch of that county. The leader of the academy was a botanist and said, do everything that you can, but save the chestnut. Because everything was dead. So that was one approach. Of course, in this fight, in this subject, we have the support of the nature. That virus is nature. It's growing in the nature forest. So we just took from the forest and put in other forest where the virus wasn't spread. So in this term, it was more easy to speak with the people and tell them that it's natural. It's natural tool, and if nature gives this tool, and we started to understand why not to use it.
Thank you, Leonard. It's okay. Good work.
Thank you.
Anything else, Enrique, for them? How are we doing with the time?
Well, we are in limit and there is no more questions. You have anything more to say? You are welcome.
Yeah, just I got adopted for Milan too. It was not clear for me. This is a pure curiosity. You were following the groundwater level. I understood that this is a kind you have there. I was looking at the map and I think you were operating in a plane, and you said it is sand. So is this an aquiferous layer or what is this? And why were you monitoring groundwater level? What is the relationship with the water availability to plants in the root area? I couldn't find. Is there a way to extrapolate from groundwater level in your nature to availability to plants? Milan, is he there? Are you there?
Yes, we are here, but I don't understand very well your question.
Yes. What was what were you looking for monitoring the ground level?
Because we wanted to know how vegetation tolerate the water level changes and what changes we must make in either forest management in order to preserve these forests.
Okay, so what's the depth of the mean depth of the water?
Yes, and then other aim was to find some natural water storage, and if you load this storage, how many days will be empty?
And this is to what's the intention of this indicator for management? So the question is, are you trying to manage water or plants for water management? What are you going to do if you find that the water is too low, for example?
Yes, a couple of minutes, please.
this is within the restoration context. I mean, what to do if the water is very low, the water table.
We have to know how many water is are in the project area, and after that we decided which species to plant.
Okay. This is to plan. This is in the planning phase of the project, of a project.
Yes, it will be another project.
Okay, because thank you. Now it's clear.
Okay.
Any other thing, Enrique?
No, I think we can leave it here if you want. I think it's great because it was really a training version. I mean, if you want to ask, go ahead. If we are here, everybody's here to learn, even the panelists.
Yeah.
So thank you for this interesting question that forced our panelists to go ahead and find the answers. Well, we are really in the limit, but I wanted to wrap up. In any case, well, sorry, thank you very much, Pilar, and the panelists here. It was very interesting, too much technical maybe, but we needed all this kind of different tables, and I'm happy that we have these different opportunities to put on the table different subjects. To wrap up, well, the different panelists put it very, very easy, because I have a general message that this engagement has to be from the beginning. When we discussed this in the first table, the expert say that. Then Carles remember us about this in the second panel. Again, that if you want to share, you have to begin putting the people in the table. And in the last panel, we saw that if you don't have the policy from the beginning, then you probably have to ask for money. And also, well, Danu also remember that communication is important, because when you are applying something, you have people that maybe don't like it, and then when they know it's working and it's healthy and useful and has no problems, they begin to share and say, hey, they are doing good things. So like what Pilar just has said, that restoration is not a technical but a social problem. So in the end, the message is that we have to engage the society, the policymakers from the beginning in order to apply these solutions more easily. I don't want to go more on detail. I want to thank you everybody again. I think it was a very successful training, and thank you for the attendance. Also, if you want more information, remember you can go to our webpage. I think that our communication manager is going to write it in a moment in the chat. There you have, as I say, our handbook of good practices, where you have a more detailed descriptions of all these practices that we have been presenting all over the day. And please subscribe if you are interested in more good practices in relation to the subject to our newsletter. From my side, anything, no more or less. I'm tired, sorry. Please, thank you again, and keep aware of the Progress Project. Thank you very much.